All right, good morning. Welcome to the Cup of Joe. You got us both up here. I don't know why, but we're going to do this together. I'm Cordell Sims, founder of Cordell Sims Enterprises and Block Elevate Technologies. I'm in the entry space around the country. I run programs and stuff inside the prisons and things like that. First off, thank the library for letting us come out every Wednesday using their facility to do the Cup of Joe for free, because y'all know we ain't got no money. So we really got to thank them. We had the book club this morning, which was the book was 10-day MBA. It was a very good book club. We really appreciate it. Without any further ado, I'm going to bring our first presenter, Mr. Jason. Is it Lightle?
Yes.
I don't want to get it wrong.
You got it.
Of a Deep Roots
Good job.
Farm. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. I'm going to set my timer here, keep myself on track. Okay. So my name is Jason Lightle. I'm the owner-operator of Deep Roots Farm. We're just outside Savannah, just east of Savannah. So this is our logo. It coming up with a name. Our families, both me and my wife, our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents have long histories of in Andrew County, farming in Andrew County. The farm that we're currently on is part of my wife's ancestors' original farm ground. My pastor actually made the logo for us, so it's got that meaning. And then there's also a nod. We raise pigs on dirt, and this is a nod to the rooting that they do on our farm. And then the T represents a cross that's for our faith and everything we do. All right, so here are some of our products. Basically, our niche is a direct-to-consumer market for free-range eggs, pastured chickens, and woodlot pork. And these are our actual products. These are eggs and our chicken, and then our pigs and two of our kids, our oldest daughter and middle daughter. And just as a mental exercise, I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but kind of something to think about as we're going through everything. You know, we live in the Midwest, farms all around, and just inside your head, nobody has to raise their hand. How many people actually eat eggs from somebody that they know that's local? And how many people eat chicken from somebody that they know? How many eat pork from somebody that they know and somebody they're local and know their farmer that raises their pork? Okay. So don't quit your day job. That's kind of a motto of mine too. I'm officially a certified registered nurse anesthetist. I'm an advanced practice nurse with a specialty in anesthesia. This picture here is me and my wife. We were not married at the time, but that's in 2005. We were in nursing school at the University of Missouri in Columbia. And long story short, went back to school a couple times, and that's me at my anesthesia machine. And I actually had hair then. If that's the farm or ever the job, the anesthesia that's made me lose it, I don't know. Probably mostly genetics. So see if I can keep track here. And I joke around that well, on the last slide, I joke around that I do anesthesia to support my farming habit. So again, my story, farm story, this is me as a little kid, holding a baby chick. I grew up on a farm, and so I really liked country life, but not always farm life. A lot of my childhood, I would walk rows of beans, pulling button weeds, or stacking small hay bales on the top of a barn with 105-degree heat index, and holding I don't know who all grew up on a farm here, but I held the flashlight a lot because we worked on broken down equipment, and if you know, it was kind of miserable, and you know, once in a while my dad would say, you just gotta talk to it just right to get it to work, and if you've ever held a flashlight, you know what that means. So this is me goofing off. We had family photos, professional family photos, and we all grabbed chickens, and, you know, I'm being real philosophical there. This is 2015. This is our very first egg. We started with layer chickens. They call it the gateway drug to farming. You get chickens, and then all of a sudden you start getting more things. This is me also goofing off. This is on processing day. We raised our broiler chickens, and, you know, I just posed for a goofball picture. I can be pretty serious, so I like to have some fun once in a while. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. My clicker's got a little delay here, so bear with me. Okay, so my support system, my wife, who's here with me, she's here slopping the hogs. There's old sweet corn stuff, which our kids raise and sell with my parents' help. Again, my wife, this is Charlie here. This is many years ago. This was kind of our first round experiment. And then my kids, and you can see that they are just thrilled with what all that entails. And I told them, I was like, you're going to find out, and you need to know where your chicken nuggets come from. So, and then this is also the same day family pictures. Okay. More support system. This is chicken processing day. My parents, Jerry and Marilyn, I grew up outside of Helena. That's where they're still at. They are awesome. They're always game. They're, you know, 70 plus and still helping me load hogs. And I keep telling them, you're about to retire from this, aren't you? And they never say they are. So, and then my father-in-law helped me. He was a carpenter, retired, and helped me build my chicken coop. And that's us doing that. And my mother-in-law, Ginger, helping process chickens that day as well. So how it started. Let's see. Okay. So it was 2006. I'm a registered nurse. I'm working in the ICU at the local hospital, and I'm on my way to work, and I'm listening to NPR. And there's a guy on there, Michael Pollan, and he's got a book called The Omnivore's Dilemma, and they're interviewing him. He's talking about it. And essentially, this book talks about how the author traces 4 meals from its origin to his plate. And it was just the most fascinating story. And it talked about essentially how disconnected consumers are from the food they eat and all sorts of hidden cost to it. And it was just eye-opening. And as somebody in the healthcare profession on their way to ICU, a lot of the things in this book and the food system I could see with the patients that I was taking care of, and how it's really affected the healthcare system and people's health. Okay, so I was instantly hooked and dove into everything I could find out about it. So, you know, everybody, we gotta, don't wanna steal my thunder here. So I kind of go through all the things when people read Omnivore's Dilemma, and they kind of look at everything, and they go through a trilogy of things: Omnivore's Dilemma, Food Inc., Fast Food Nation, all that. And along the way, the important part is I found out about this guy. His name's Joel Salatin. He's outside in Virginia, and he's raising food, and he's connecting people with the food they eat again, and kind of doing things the quote unquote the old-fashioned way. And really, he's just kind of opting out of the system, and I just kind of caught it. There's that saying now, people are saying, I'm outdoorsy, not outside, or I'm outsidey, not outdoorsy. I was kind of, well, I want to live in the country, but I don't know if I want to farm. And I learned about this, and I was dead set. I wanted to be the Joel Salatin of Savannah and Andrew County. So that's how it was started, and this is how it's going. A group of us were standing right out there talking about how we all kind of, as entrepreneurs, are kind of suffering the blows of different things. And anyway, I have my own GIF. Somebody made that for me. It's part of a video, and then this seemed appropriate for my wife. Probably thinks it's even more appropriate than I do. So it's hard. It's stressful. And then, as a child, I told you I kind of swore off farming, holding that flashlight, and now I've taken it full circle, and now I buy really junky equipment and work on it, and try not to talk to it just the right way too many times, but you know what I mean. Uh, and my wife keeps telling me you should find something more relaxing to do, but it's a labor of love, and I do love it. Can you manually? Oh, there we go. I don't know if that's 2 slides in ahead.
The receiver's the laptop.
There we go. Okay. Okay. We're good now. All right. So that's our farm. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the logistics of it. All right. I got to hustle up here. Advertising and marketing, basically, primary tool is social media. I try to really build a brand and post pictures, and that's really gets people motivated and enjoy seeing everything. The local community, Savannah, St. Joe, surrounding counties. I do have one lady that comes from Brookfield, Missouri twice a year and buys 10 chickens each time. She has family around here. Our target market, immediate community, personal, professional relationships. A lot of people that I work with at the hospital buy a lot of our products. Our goal and challenge is to make quality products available and attainable to many consumers in our local communities. And when you do things the way I'm doing it, not at mass scale and mechanization, the input costs are all going to be a little bit higher. And I still want to be able to do that. And you shouldn't have to be wealthy or rich to be able to eat the food that I raise. Egg production. So our eggs, again, 2015 is whenever it all started. The chicks are getting very expensive. Everybody's kind of getting into chickens right now. Labor, you get paid for this. I consider it child development or character development for our kids. They do a lot of that. And then capital expenditures, that chicken coop you saw in that picture is about $2,500. And if you're a fan of Tiger King, you know the saying, I'm never going to financially recover from this. Our income, we charge $3 a dozen. Mr. Market, the supermarket, right now, anywhere from $2.72 to $7 a dozen. $7 a dozen is going to be your pasture-raised organic things. And there is an issue with market saturation. Like I said, everybody and their brother is raising layer chickens right now. $500 a year about is what we can make, except if your kids leave the coop door open overnight and you have a massive raccoon massacre and all your chickens die, then that can happen. So anyway, it can set you back a whole year. Broilers, meat chickens, labor, it is work. Twice a day, every day, before work, after work, weighing, feeding them, moving them to new grass, everything. It is a process, and butcher day as well. Income, about $12 a chicken. We charge $5 a pound. They're about 4-pound chickens, $20 a chicken, $8 operating expenditures. Mr. Market, a whole chicken for your plain Jane regular industrial chickens, $1.32 a pound, and then like a Whole Foods organic chicken's going to be $4 a pound. We're at about $5, and we raise about 150 chickens a year. Pork production. Actually, I wanted to show that. So this is kind of a picture of our chickens. This is the chicken tractor. It's hard to see the whole thing, but basically it's mobile. Got heat lamps and feeders, and they get moved to new grass all the time, and they can forage and find bugs and grass and eat grass and improve the taste and nutrients of the meat. So our pork production, it costs about $300 a hog. A lot of capital expenditures to get the process going, feed. There is a shortage of feeder pigs. Not many people raise pigs on dirt and old-fashioned way anymore. And then about $400 a hog is what we can make. We charge $2 a pound hanging weight. That's carcass weight. That's gutted, hanging, skinned, head on. And then the buyer pays processing, which is also about $2 a pound. You lose about 35% once you take out all the bones and everything, and so that's going to equal, packaged in your freezer from us, about $5 to $6 a pound, depending on what type of cuts you choose. The Mr. Market USDA hog report, $1.09 a pound. Again, this is kind of a disconnect from reality, mass production, mechanization, all sorts of hidden costs with the system. When you do it the way we're doing it, I think you get a better product. Some of you might not be able to tell if that's pork or beef. That's because our meat has a lot deeper red color, a lot more robust flavor. And my daughter here is massaging the bacon. You can see here our hogs. There's a natural spring that runs through here that they drink from, and they get to wander around. Kind of our unique signatures. We finish our hogs on apples. They eat apples for about a month before they go to processing. If you feed a pig enough apples before they go to processing, it makes bacon a fruit. I'm not a nutritionist, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
Like our fruits, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're good for you. I'm frozen.
Yes, you are. Well,
Okay.
Let's quickly go through your slides because we only have
Okay.
a couple minutes for Q&A.
Okay. So just real quick, this is kind of our numbers, slowly growing, stalling out, and our, oh, go ahead. And basically, we kind of labor, the market, time are all the big issues with trying to make this work. Personal scalability, regulations, capital expenditures, and then basically my growing in my faith over this time. I spent a lot of my 20s atheist agnostic and finally found my faith, and through this process have found purpose in it and stopped worrying about the money as much and worried about doing good with it. And we do a lot of mission work, the food pantries, church staff, summer swim, rec teams. And then hopefully I just would like to scale up a little bit and then maybe find a retail space, restaurants. These are pie in the sky aspirations. And then just kind of, Wendellberry's a great wisdom literature writer. When they want you to buy something, they will call you. When they want you to die for profit, they will let you know. So friends, every day do something that won't compute. Love the Lord, love the world, work for nothing, take all that you have and be poor, love someone who doesn't deserve it. We're entrepreneurs. Obviously, this saying is a little counterintuitive, but I think it's just coming at what we do with the mentality of it's more than just about making money. We want to do good with it. That's it. Thank you.
Any questions?
Do I call on people? Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, firstly, thank you for loving animals.
Yeah.
Because morally, yes. But still, on that note, how do you morally love the animal and then still do the thing? No judgment.
Yeah.
So,
No.
And again, thank you because I could not.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it because I love chicken.
Yeah. So my philosophy is every day that our animals are alive is a great day for them. Literally, they live such an awesome life. Like I have a juicer and I am juicing apples because my pigs are so picky about certain things that I'm like mixing stuff in with them. I have a lot of respect for vegetarians because they have taken a moral stand and they decided not to eat meat. But I think that if you eat meat, you should also be unconflicted with what you're doing or what you're eating. And so that's part of the reason we do what we do, amongst many reasons. So, yes.
Do you have a website or how do you order?
Yeah, I have cards, and I don't have a QR code on here, but we're on Facebook. We don't have an actual website yet, but we do have, and I'll put a card up here on the desk with a QR code so anybody who wants to can scan it on their way out. But you can find just search Deep Roots on Facebook and you'll see our logo. I just wanted to say real quick that every Groundhog Day we make pork burgers and have groundhog. So, anyway. Yes, sir.
What is your capacity? Like
So for us to continue to butcher ourselves, there is an exemption for up to 1,000 chickens per year that I can grow on my farmstead, butcher ourselves without some sort of processing facility or formal inspection, and you could sell them at farmers market or off the farm or whatnot. Hogs, it's just scalability. I want to be good to my hogs. I want to be a good neighbor. We raise about 20 to 22 right now, and layers, that just varies depending on probably about 30 to 40 right now, and making sure they get shut up at night so there's no more raccoon issues. So scalability is, and I didn't get to cover the slide too much, but basically land is hard to come by, and it's very expensive right now, and not a lot of people are selling. And so the future, hopefully, I would like to be able to farrow. Right now I just buy feeder pigs, but I'd like to be able to have yelts or sows and raise my own piglets and then increase my scale from there. So yes.
Question with a comment from someone online. Sarah said tastiest chicken and pork around.
What's that?
Sarah said tastiest
Oh,
chicken and pork around.
I know Sarah. Yeah, Sarah is a great customer. Thank you, Sarah.
We're in the business, so because the eggs. You don't charge enough for the eggs. Firstly, you need to up that to at least $5 a dozen. Somebody who has to buy like the farm fresh, or like my brother has some occasionally, or whatever. Anyway, sorry. But do you do like a subscription? Because I feel like that would help to be like, okay, I'm a yearly setup subscription. This is normally what I have, and then that way you know how much for the year.
Yeah.
What's your kind of selling business?
So right now it's mainly just people I know, people at work. I've actually thought about the idea of setting up a subscription. You pay like once or twice a year, and you're basically getting however many eggs a week. And then from that point, if the problem with doing raising in eggs and layers like this is they're seasonal, so when it gets colder, when the daylight hours go down, they don't lay as much. So you kind of at the whim of that a little bit, but obviously offering refunds for anything that wasn't received at the end of the year. But yeah, just I have my phone number and email address and the QR code on the cards, and I'll put it up there, and just get in touch, and I'm happy to work something out with anybody. Yes, sir.
You were talking about processing fees. I know process.
Yeah.
Because some get so backed up, especially with hogs.
Yep.
So if you had any issues with that, had any luck.
Yeah. So the couple of challenges with that, there is a bottleneck on processing. There's only so many in the area. Part of the problem too with beef, it's a little easier because it's mainly just cutting and packaging. With pork, they smoke and they cure a lot of products, and not every business smokes and cures, and not every business does a good job of smoking and curing. I've been surprised, and I've gotten pork back before, and they take the package and pour liquid smoke and brine in it instead of actually using real smoke. And so you have those challenges, and so I've had to move to various spots. But I've tried anywhere from St. Joe all the way to Gallatin, Missouri, and we have good ones. But again, you have to get your appointments in at the beginning of the year and trying to match those up with making sure your hogs are optimal size, which we try for about 300 pounds live weight. So it's definitely a challenge. Your experience is normal. So, but yes.
So the large layers, the ones that are mass produced,
Mm-hmm.
use lights in the winter to keep the chickens producing. Is there a way to use grow lights or something and still stay within your niche?
Yeah. So we have in the past so what they do when they stop laying, the pineal gland in the brain senses daylight hours. It's not as much cold. The daylight hours go down, and then this tells their chicken ovaries to stop laying eggs. So, and then they molt. So they shed some feathers and they grow new feathers. Sorry, online, I just hit my microphone. And I'll let them go through that molt process for about maybe 4 weeks, a month, and then I'll put an artificial light in the coop and hopefully kind of get them going a little bit. And then also they probably stagger their pullets, and so once they have a round that are kind of in the molt process, they're probably shipped into new chickens, and they're just moving more in and laying more eggs so that they constantly have a supply. Which there's a lot to be said about reliability and everything. I'm not trying to say that the new system isn't important for food supply and everything like that.
So you do play with it, trying to.
Yes, yeah. But try to let them do their own chicken thing and then still push them a little bit. Yes, ma'am.
So are there other farmers out there doing what you're doing that you could work with, co-op with, figure some of this out for capacity?
So a lot of people do the layers. I haven't really looked into that. I know of 2 other families doing the broiler meat chickens. And I haven't really looked into a co-op. The one thing I have looked at is, and you can get grants for it, are mobile processing units. So basically it's a trailer with all the processing equipment on it. And then you can kind of rent it or deposit, and then anybody in the county could use it. And I think that would probably help increase the number of people raising food like this, as if they had a lot of the equipment available. As far as pork's concerned, there are a handful of people raising pigs on dirt still. Kind of the co-op that we have is they provide feeder pigs, and I buy the feeder pigs and I raise them out. And so it's a mutually beneficial relationship to a certain extent. But that's something I still need to look into. And then also I wanted to mention, it was on a slide, my wife's cousin lives in the Florida Keys, and he's desperate for a half or a whole hog, but trying to ship stuff like that. So if there's any entrepreneurs in here that are wizards at shipping stuff across the country with refrigeration at a reasonable price, that would be awesome to find out. So, yes.
One more question.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about the restaurant idea that you had in that farm to table,
Mm-hmm.
and you put out feelers to see if anybody's interested in that. And then I also think of agritourism, where I want my kids to see what a real farm functions like. So like an Airbnb, that you can kind of see a functioning farm and how that day-to-day life would look for a normal thing.
Yeah. So as far as restaurant, and I have reached out to a handful of people. I don't know, Avenue City Grocery Store has a little miniature deep freeze, and they carry local beef. And I reached out to them about carrying pork, so that's a potential thing. There's a new business on the square selling local beef, and I've reached out to them about pork. I haven't had any leads come to fruition yet, but always looking for those opportunities, especially if my pork's processed USDA, you can sell individual cuts in a situation like that. As far as agritourism, Joel, like, he has apprentices come, and they pay to come and work on his farm, and people pay to come and watch butcher chickens. And at this point, I don't have a system like that set up. I've had a handful of people come out and help butcher, and usually I give them a couple chickens for coming out and helping them butcher. But that's a potential business opportunity there too. Yeah.
Let's give him one more round of applause.
Thank you.